Hello and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a language that's been spoken for millennia up in the Andes Mountains of South America. It's called Aymara. And what's so fascinating about it is that it doesn't just describe the world, it actually shows us a completely different way of seeing it.
So let me ask you this. How much can a single word really say? I mean, in English, a word is usually just one thing. But in Aymara, one word can be an entire sentence, a whole story all packed together. Let me show you what I mean.
Okay, let's build a word together. We'll start with the root uta. That means house. Simple enough. Now, watch this. We add ni, and suddenly it's utani, one who has a house. Okay, let's keep going. Add naka, and now we have those who have houses. Add taki, it becomes for those who have houses. Let's add some emphasis with puni, always for those who have houses. Are you with me? Finally, we add wa, to make it a complete thought. Utani na kataki puniwa. That one single word means it is always for those who have houses. Incredible, right? All of that meaning in just one word. That whole process we just did, that snapping together of different pieces of meaning, well, that's what makes Aymara feel like a language made out of Lego. You're literally building an entire complex idea, brick by brick, into a single word. Now, this Lego brick style of language actually has a technical name. It's called an agglutinative language. You start with a core idea, your root word, and you just keep snapping on these little pieces of meaning called morphemes. But here's what's so cool and unique about Aymara. It only uses suffixes. There are no prefixes. The word only ever grows in one direction. So it's a really logical system when you break it down. You've got your root, which is the main block, the core idea, like house or to go. And then you have all these suffixes, which are like the little connector pieces you add on to change the meaning, to show who owns it, or how many there are, or which way it's going.
So it's not just how the words are built that's amazing, it's also how they sound. The sound system in Aymara is just fascinating because a massive amount of meaning can be packed into something as simple as a single puff of air.
First off, get this. Look at the vowels. In English or Spanish, we're used to 5, right? A, E, I, O, U. Well, Aymara uses just 3. A, I, U. That's it. It's super streamlined. But don't let that fool you because all the complexity is hiding in the consonant. And this is where it gets really interesting. Take the word bisi. That means less. Now, just add a tiny little puff of air right after the P sound. That's called aspiration. Suddenly, the word becomes bisi, which means cat. Seriously, the difference between less and cat is just a tiny breath of air. And it gets even more precise. The word kusa means good. But if you make a tiny, sharp stop in the back of your throat, it's called a glottal stop, it becomes kosa. And that means chicha, which is a traditional fermented drink. Think about that for a second. The difference between the concept of good and an alcoholic beverage is just one tiny catch in your throat.
This incredible precision isn't just in the sounds, though. You find it in the grammar, too. Even something as simple as a pronoun can open up a completely different way of looking at the world and show us that there can actually be 4 ways of being.
So, most of us are used to 3 basic personal pronouns. I, you, and he or she. Pretty standard. But Aymara has a 4th one. And believe me, it changes everything.
So here they are. You have Naya, which is I. You have Juma, which is you. And you have Jupa, which is he or she. But then there's this 4th one, jiwasa. So what on earth is that?
Jiwasa is what linguists call the inclusive we. It means you and I together. See, in English, when I say we, I could mean me and my friends, but not you. It can be exclusive, but jiwasa is different. It's specifically designed to create a bond, to say that you, the listener, and I, the speaker, are in this together. It's a whole worldview of community and inclusion, baked right into the very grammar of the language. And that sense of a connected, shared reality goes even deeper. The Aymara language seems to be custom-built for a world that is just buzzing with life, a worldview that some have even described as a quantum culture. This quote really gets to the heart of it all. In Aymara philosophy, everything has life. The hills, rivers, lakes, All of these subjects have energy. So the language has to account for a reality where the line we draw between a living thing and an inanimate object, well, that line is pretty much gone. Rocks, rivers, mountains, they aren't just its. They're living beings.
And this is exactly why some scholars have started calling the Aymara Nation a quantum culture. The thinking is that, kind of like in quantum physics, the unseen world, the world of energy and spirit, isn't just a separate thing. It actually comes first, and it shapes the physical world we see. That whole philosophy is woven into the very fabric of the language.
So, if a language holds such a unique, powerful worldview, what does it mean if we risk losing it? And that question brings us to the very real, present-day fight for Aymara. Because the grammar book that inspired this whole explainer, it's so much more than just a book.
You see, even though there are over 1 million speakers, Aymara is considered a potentially endangered language. Data from Bolivia's 2001 census showed that Aymara speakers made up just over 18% of the population. In a world that's so dominated by global languages like Spanish, keeping Aymara thriving is an active, daily struggle.
And it's a fight that's been going on for a long time. Think about it. A single unified alphabet for the language wasn't even established until 1984. It took until 2009 for Bolivia's new constitution to officially recognize Aymara. The official institute for the language and culture of the Aymara Nation was only created in 2013, which makes the publication of this new grammar in 2024 a hugely important step in helping revitalize the language for a whole new generation.
As the linguist Pedro Plaza Martinez says, this lack of materials can be countered by writing, by producing texts, from stories to grammars. So when people create resources like the one we've been talking about, it's not just some academic project. It is a powerful act of cultural survival. And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. We've seen just a little bit of how Aymara holds this incredibly unique understanding of sound, of community, of life itself. It really makes you wonder, what other worlds, what other ways of seeing completely disappear every time a language goes silent?